How's everyone doing today? Shankar Puri here, and today we're going to talk about the Bitcoin price. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and all this information is used for entertainment purposes only. So without further ado, let's dive right into the chart. Alright guys, so let's look at the SPX, so the S&P 500. So what we were looking at here last week was we were anticipating, we'd get an inverse head and shoulders, which we have. 1 second. Yeah, so we have this inverse head and shoulders here, and the price broke out of this bull flag. So what we're expecting, or at least anticipating, is for us to get to at least this point right here, before we start seeing some, serious volatility. But what we got to pay attention to is this 200-day moving average. So the 200-day moving average, we don't want to be using it as resistance. So it is great that we broke out of this bull flag, but we need, whether it's the end of this week or sometime next week, is when we do come up, is to actually hold the 200 as support or just keep heading past it. So that's really what we're looking for. And remember, the reason why we look at the S&P 500 is because the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are very correlated, and they move very well together. So that is why we look at the S&P and Bitcoin. And please remember, we also had this bull flag that we broke out of around the 16th of March, or this 18th of March. So that target of that bull flag is up here, so the top of that target. So though we have a bull flag over here, inverse head and shoulders, and the target for that bull flag is right here where this yellow line is, we do have another target for the bigger bull flag that we were in up here. So this is what I believe we're going to be starting the melt up of the last phase of this market before we do enter a long-term bear market for a lot of stocks, and maybe even S&P 500. So let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance over here, we're currently underneath the 200-day on the 4-hour, but we have just been really in this playing with the support zone here. So we've just been chopping up in between the support zone with real no direction if we're going to be heading up or down. We've kind of just made lower lows, and we're making a lower high here, and we've made lower lows. So it looks like we could be heading underneath the support zone, but this is a very strong support zone, as it's definitely been, and we can even draw this resistance line right here. So we've been just in between the support and resistance, for the past couple weeks, right? So once we get below the support zone for the S&P, for the Bitcoin dominance, altcoins will start performing a lot better, and you can anticipate that. So we need to see, a break under here for your alts to start performing a lot better. And speaking of altcoins, let's look at the altcoin dominance. So currently, we had this bullish divergence on the support of, so we have this bullish divergence here. So you see this bullish divergence, and all we did was we came up, got rejected off of the 200-day moving average, and we found support here at a support zone. And this is a hidden bullish divergence, so we can anticipate that we're going to be continuing this uptrend off of this bull flag that we've exited. So we can anticipate to at least come up here before we start getting a retracement, right, and continue the higher highs and higher lows into the uptrend, right? So that's something that we want to watch. But yeah, overall, the market's looking fine. There's no real crazy, we're not anticipating a major crash. We have higher highs and higher lows here. So we have higher highs and higher lows. So we're in an uptrend. which is very good for the price. If we look at the USDT dominance, so we had a bear flag, a hidden bullet bearish divergence. So this was a hidden bearish divergence. And so we are anticipating now we're going to be coming down and breaking underneath this support zone. So we bounced from the support zone. So now we're currently anticipating that we just break below here and maybe find support here. And big reversals do come at this trend line, right? So if anything, we do anticipate we're coming down to here. But once we come down here, we want to start heavily taking profits, even, you know, anywhere here. We can start taking profits, right? So let's look at our Wyckoff accumulation schematic that we have. So currently, we did have a fake out here, where I thought, you know, we were going to start heading higher, but we have respected this trend line at the moment. So our Wyckoff accumulation schematic is not broken. So let's look on the daily time frame. Yep. So our Wyckoff accumulation schematic is currently holding. We got rejected. Sorry about them. Computer's acting up today. But yeah, so we got rejected off the 200-day moving average, and are just held support here at the support zone, at this trend line right here. So we've held support at this trend line. It's being respected, and we just got rejected off the 200 days. So it's looking like Bitcoin we could head higher. We do have a hidden bullish divergence as well on the daily time frame. So if I bring out the RSI, yep. So we have the hidden bullish divergence here, and hidden bullish divergence always normally indicates, unlike regular divergence or exaggerated divergence, they normally indicate a continuation of the trend. So we can anticipate a continuation of this trend. And remember, we're anticipating at minimum for the end of this market. So we are anticipating at minimum for the end of this market that we at least come to the top of this channel here. So whether we get out over here at 79K, we get over here 73K, that's our minimum target, because, you know, this is an upward channel, and we assume that price is going to be trading in the channel until it isn't. So if we assume that, and that is our minimum target here at 70K. And if we bring out the log bands or the growth curve, both of them have about the similar point. We're anticipating at least, you know, 167K for the top of this market. So these are our targets. And remember, we have the wave, the Elliott wave count. So if we look here, so I have it drawn here, the Elliott wave count. So we have our impulse wave 1, and then the retracement wave, impulse wave 3, and then retracement. So normally the third impulse is the most, you know, it's the biggest impulse, but impulse wave 5 is normally the most explosive in the fact that it happens in the shortest amount of time, and a lot of money flows into the market. So we're still anticipating the wave 5 right here to take us higher, and, you know, top out around 150, 160, 170. So that's what we're anticipating. And as Bitcoin moves up, our alts will also move up. But if we don't break out of the channel, we're at least anticipating to reach this point here, right? And this point here could be a point where we start taking profits, or you start taking profits, and at the same time it could be a point of disbelief, right? Where the price comes up, retests, and then heads higher to complete the wave 5, right? So that's something we want to be aware of. But there's nothing wrong if you're, like I said, if you purchased here and you take some profits here, there's nothing wrong with that. All right. That's all for today, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and I do encourage you to share this video if you found it entertaining and provided you of some value. All right. Thank you. Take care.